No money, they said. No money, no pesos. Crying broke. No money for Rashford. So he goes on an initial loan with an option to buy. Gets 28 goals and assists. Then they try and renegotiate the transfer fee, which is already in the contract. Supposedly between 22 and 26 million. United say no. They speak to Rashi about, personal terms. He agrees a pay cut, agrees personal terms. Then all of a sudden, Barca find 80 million euros for Anthony Gordon. This stinks. This might possibly be the most toxic transfer of the transfer window this summer. I think it's going under the radar how much this stinks, like how toxic this is. And then we're hearing that they're preparing a 100 million bid for Alvarez. And Atletico are complaining about that as well, the way they're tapping up. But in general, like, anyone doing business with Barcelona, listen, red flags. Red flags everywhere. Red flags everywhere. Like, I'm seeing some conflicting reports about why they might be looking at other options other than Rashford. Like wage demands. But like I said, he agreed a wage cut. He agreed full personal terms. Not just a wage cut, full personal terms. And also, if you have a look at Gordon's wages at Newcastle, 150k a week. And allegedly, he's doubled them at Barca. That's 300k a week. So, where are we going with this, wages excuse? You're just giving a man 300k a week. And Rashford has agreed to lower his wages. So I'm not buying it. I've also seen reports about, like, not about money, about tactically. They're saying, Gordon is better value. Actually, a little bit about money. They're saying Gordon's better value for money because of his age. So they can offer him a longer contract, which allows them to spread the payment over a longer term, which I understand. I get that bit. And they're also saying tactically, he fits Hansi Flick's plans more. He fits that style more because it's a very high intensity, high pressing style of football that he likes to play. Obviously, we know that isn't Rashford's strength. And what Hansi Flick is saying, he's saying, well, we carry Yamal a little bit. He's saying we can't afford to carry Rashford as well. It's only one. So, and obviously that's the strength of Anthony Gordon's game. That off the ball, high intensity, pressing, defensive work. That's a strength of Anthony Gordon. So, I understand that bit. See, that bit I can buy into. But where does this leave United? Does Rashford come back? Do we want Rashford back in the squad? I don't. Not me. But where does it leave Rashford as well? Himself, like, as a person. He must be in turmoil right now. He's had a bad time at United. He's gone to Barca. He feels like, things are changing. Things are looking positive. He's twerking for them. He's saying all the right stuff for them. Doing all the right stuff on the pitch. 28 goals and assists. And then they go around and do that. And then Barca are talking about, just because we got Gordon don't mean we ain't still interested in Rat. It sounds like, when, like, you've got one girl, you give her all the spill, and, she thinks, yeah, she's going to be the girl. All of a sudden, you go and get another one. But then you say to the previous girl, yeah, but don't worry, this don't mean that I don't like you too. I still want to get to know you, but I'm over here doing my thing over here for a bit, but I still want to get to know you as well. Listen, it stinks. It stinks. They're talking about, a cut price, 13 million bid. Obviously, they know that United don't want Rashford back. And they also know that his wages are going to go up due to Champions League football. So they're hoping that United are going to be desperate enough to take a cut price bid. But for me, 22 to 26 million after the loan fee is already a cut price bid. So United are well within their rights to say no, regardless of what Rashford wants. It's a no. But also, where does this leave the chemistry between Rashford and Gordon in the England team? Yeah, because they got a report for international duty very soon. The World Cup's in, 10 days, I believe? Very soon, they are going to be amongst each other day in, day out. Day in, day out, they're going to be amongst each other. There's going to be banter in that group, no doubt. There's going to be banter because, Gordon turned up to his presser speaking fluent Spanish. So it all makes sense why Ed benching him towards the end of the season. The guy was speaking Scouse. Anthony Gordon was speaking fluent Spanish. Talking about it's always been his dream to play for Barcelona. No, it hasn't. Listen, I'm not claiming to know Anthony Gordon's life story, but trust me, he was about to go back to Scousland, to Liverpool last season. Then he was about to go to Bayern this season, but Bayern, neither of the teams wanted to pay the money that Newcastle wanted. Barca somehow found a pot of gold and paid it. Now all of a sudden, I've always wanted to go Barca, learning Spanish. Listen, you can't make this shit up. What is going to happen in that England squad? What is the chemistry going to be like? I don't know. Like, it's going to be awkward. I'll tell you that. It's definitely going to be bants within the squad. But I don't know if it's going to be bants personally between Rashford, especially Rashford, because he's the one that drew the shortest stick. So, literally, his life right now, which he saw being in Spain with his missus, you know what I mean? It's like loan. He's thinking he's gonna get signed on a permanent deal now, so he can permanently set some foundations in Spain. I don't know. He probably hasn't bought a house over there yet, so he was probably planning on doing that once the move was permanent. And you know what I mean? Building himself over there. Remember, he's at an age now where he's thinking about things like family and kids, and do you know what I mean? What do you do now? You don't know where you're going to be. You might be back in Manchester. You don't know where you're going to be. So, yeah, would you have Rashford back in the squad? Would you accept the cut price, 30 million? Or would you say to Rashford, you got to find another club? Even though he's been saying he only wants to play for Barcelona. There's been rumours of Arsenal possibly having a look. Would you be happy with that? Rashford to Arsenal, what do you think? Would you be happy to see Rashford play for Arsenal for the right price? Me, personally, for the right price, you can take him. But not even for the right price, for more than the right price, you can take him. If you give us enough money to go and seriously bid for the likes of Morgan Rogers, for the likes of... Who else would I take on that left side? For even the likes of Morgan Gibbs-White. Who else would I take over there? If you give us enough money to... The reason why I say Morgan Rogers is because at least we can then take away an Arsenal target. So cool, you're getting one of our players that's going to help you. But we're going to take away one of your main targets, which is Morgan Rogers. So if you're giving us enough money to put towards that, take Rashford. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. Just said it. Peace.